Work up an appetite by pedaling over to Old Town Farm and Bike in Coffee. Owners Linda Thorne and Lanny join us in our Builder Source kitchen. Welcome, you guys.
Thank you for having us.
What a pleasure to have you here today. This is really exciting to me. When I heard about this, you know, Albuquerque literally grew up around the Old Town Farm. So tell us about the property and the produce that you grow.
Well, we've been there for 35 years, and we almost always were a horse farm, but we've always had a very big produce garden. And about 5 years ago, we decided to see if our neighbors were interested in produce, and that just took off. So we started kind of moving the horses aside and growing more and more produce, and now we have a lot of produce and several hoop houses, and we provide produce for about 5 neighborhoods around Old Town.
And you've generated so much more interest in locally grown products as well.
Well, that's what we really like to do, and that's actually what got us into Bike in Coffee, is wanting to use our produce and show our customers how to use a lot of the produce that we grow.
Exactly. Where do you sell your produce, by the way?
Well, we go down to the downtown farmers market, and then we have customers who subscribe to the service, and they pick up a basket every week. And we have other people who bike in and pick up whatever we have that week. So.
We send out an email each week saying these are all the things that are ready. Come get what you want.
Well, let's talk about the biking, because you just brought it up. And Bike in Coffee at Old Town is literally the first cycle-only coffee hangout on a farm in Albuquerque, literally. So tell us more about that and how you came up with the concept and the menu itself.
Well, Linda did this, you know, her sister lives in China, so she's always telling us about these Chinese greens, and so we started growing these things and nobody knew what to do with them. So Linda would
including us. We didn't know what to do with them.
So Linda would print up recipes for people to pick up at the farmers market, and then the idea, well, let's make some stuff and show people what they can make out of this. And so that happened, and then, well, if they're coming over to have these things that we're making, why not serve some coffee? And it just kind of happened.
What a concept. And of course, you're going to make a little something for us today real quickly and give us a taste of what you do. So show us what that is.
Well, this is one of our most popular dishes at Bike in Coffee. And what it is we call them Quiche Babies, because they're little tiny quiche. Because
easier to eat that way.
Really, and for bicyclists, that's important.
Eat on the go.
So our motto is easy to serve, easy to eat.
I like that. Easy to serve, easy to eat. And I want to mention while you're doing that you actually do something called bike in zoning. Let's tell people what that means.
Well, what you know, we have a farm, and so we had people coming in on their bikes anyhow to pick up produce, because it's less traffic for the neighborhood if they can use their bikes. And then when we got the Bike in Coffee going, we thought, well, you know, this would be a great thing, because Albuquerque has put millions into this 150-mile bike network.
It's true. It's very true.
And why not give other people a chance to do limited commercial activities? So if you've got a house up against the bike path, say, say down in the valley or someplace in town where you're adjacent to a bike path, then you can. You could sell salsa that you make, or fix, you know, sell bike tubes, or you know, any number of things.
Flower shops have anything you can think of.
It would just be an economic thing. Plus, the people we know who run the bike shops rent bikes to people who come here from out of town, and the question always is, well, where do we go? What's there, you know? And so there's the museums, and of course we're in the middle of all that, but there are other things, and so a lot of people come to Bike in Coffee because it's something to do.
It sure is, and something else to do is to eat. So tell me real quickly what you've done with these baby quiches.
All right, well, we try to, everything's from our garden.
Nice.
We learned the hard way to use puff pastry on the bottoms so they don't fall apart.
Okay, smart, yes.
We spray these pans, we put in the little sliver of puff pastry. Then the great thing about these is you put in whatever you want.
How nice.
And what I love is these pop out and you just freeze them in a tray in the freezer, then pour them into a bag, and then you've got them in the freezer, and you just pull out 2 or 3 whenever you want them. And you don't even need to thaw them, just stick them in the oven and they're great.
That's amazing. And how long do you put them in the oven for?
Well, if they're frozen, you just put them in the oven, a little bitty oven for 10 minutes. But if you're baking them fresh, every oven is different. But so you're going to watch them 18 to 23 minutes and just watch them.
Of course, and all the details for how you can find Old Town Farm is right on your screen. We highly recommend you stopping in and getting a taste. And you have a finished product for us, I understand.
I do.
Let's take a look at that real quickly before we go.
So these are sweet red pepper and a spinach onion mixture with goat cheese on all.
Oh, fabulous. Thank you both so much for being here. And when we
Thank
come
you.
back, we'll meet our pet of the week, who's going to be hungry too, by the way. Thank you. Ooh, that's good.
Today's chef appearance is sponsored in part by Ben E. Keith Food Service Distributors.